If you're an English learner and you're a fan of How I Met Your Mother, which is one of the most popular TV shows, watch this video to learn some really interesting vocabulary from the show. My name's Yara and you're on the EY channel, where we teach you English in a fun and interesting way. If you haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, you should still watch this video because you can learn some really helpful vocabulary from it. Before we start, press subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. And tell me in the comments if you've watched How I Met Your Mother and if you found it interesting or boring. Now let's start with the first phrase, which is one of the most popular phrases on the show. It's used by one of the most popular characters, Barney Stinson.
Because after 2 a.m. is when things get, audience, say it with me, legendary.
Legendary. This is an adjective that means remarkable or outstanding, which means really good or amazing. And it's Barney's word on the show to describe every good thing that happens to him or to his friends, to show just how awesome this thing was.
It's gonna be legendary. Trust me, it's gonna be legendary. It's gonna be legendary.
And most of the time he uses the phrase, wait for it, when he says this word. So he says,
it's gonna be legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
That was legend, wait for it, dairy. So he says it all as if it's one big word. And because of this show, people have started using this phrase all the time. The second one is also one of Barney's most popular catchphrases.
Marshall Erickson, suit up!
Suit up. When he says to someone, suit up, he means put on a business suit. He says this a lot because he's always wearing a suit in every single episode, and he thinks this is how all guys should dress. So he always says it to his friends.
Ted Mosby, suit up!
Number 3 is no questions asked.
I need you to do this, no questions asked.
This phrase is used for the idea that a person can ask their friends for a favor, or they can ask them to do something for them without having to explain anything and without the other person being allowed to ask them any questions. So it's really funny when they use it because they always use this phrase for some really weird favors. Like one time, Ted used the no questions asked rule when he wanted Lily to destroy her phone because there was a message on there that he didn't want her to see. So he said to her, no questions asked, so she has to destroy the phone without asking any questions.
Throw your phone on the ground and smash it with your foot.
What? No.
I need you to do this, no questions asked. You owe me a no questions asked.
This phrase is also often used in businesses when they want to tell you that they will do something that you want without asking you any questions. So for example, it's often used like, if you don't like our product or our service, we will give you a refund, which means we will give you your money back, no questions asked. Number 4 is another really funny one, and it's, have you met Ted? I know I didn't say it like Barney, but you'll be able to see it in a second in the video.
Hi, have you met Ted?
So I'm gonna explain to you how Barney uses this on the show, and then I'll explain to you how you can use it in real life. So the idea is that Barney is a single guy, and he's always trying to meet new women and to go out with them. And he also wants the same thing for his friend, Ted. So when Ted is single on the show, when he is not dating anyone, and if they are somewhere like at a bar or out somewhere, whenever there is a woman next to them, Barney will just turn to her and say to her, have you met Ted?
Have you met Ted?
And this is his way to introduce them to each other. Number 5 is also really commonly used, and it's the dream, or that's the dream. And when we say about something, it's the dream, it means that's the best thing that could ever happen to someone.
What? Really? Why not? I'd go to jail for you.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. Going to jail for your best friend? That's the dream.
For example, for Ted, he thought that a girl who is hot or attractive and who also watches Star Wars is the dream. So if he met a girl like that, that would be the best thing that could happen to him.
Yes! Yes! I am marrying a woman who is not only hot, but loves Star Wars. That's the dream.
And this idiom is also related to another idiom with the word dream, which is living the dream. And when we say someone is living the dream, it means that they are living their best life, or something really, really good has happened to them. So we can say something like, Sarah got a whole month of paid vacation. She's living the dream. Number 5 is a slang term that actually has 2 meanings, and it's what up. What up? So you probably already know one of the meanings of this phrase, and you probably hear it as what's up. And when we say what up, this is just a way to make it even more informal. So we usually use this to say or to ask what's happening, what are you doing, what's going on, and the response here would be not much or nothing much. But in the show, most of the time it's used with another meaning. So the characters often use this phrase after they have either made a joke and thought it was really funny, or insulted one of their friends.
You know, she is a guest in this country. So while you may choose to turn your back on her, I choose to turn my front on her. What up?
And to insult somebody is to say something bad about someone. But in the show, they do it jokingly.
What up?
Number 7, true story. This has actually become a meme that you have probably seen somewhere. And again, it's mostly used by Barney.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. True story.
And the funny thing is, he uses it when he has actually said something that is unbelievable and not actually true, but he wants everyone to think that it's true. Or he even uses it sometimes when he's saying something funny about himself that nobody else would ever say about themselves. For example, one time he said, "When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead." True story. But usually in real life, we would use this when we want to emphasize that what we have said is actually true and that it really happened, even though it seems really unbelievable. For example, one time I met Beyonce and Jay-Z while I was shopping. True story. Some people use it like Barney as well, and in memes you might also notice that it's being used in a joking kind of way, where someone is talking about something that hasn't really happened. By the way, if you have a friend who has also watched How I Met Your Mother, share this video with them so they can also learn some new vocabulary. Now, the last phrase for today is challenge accepted. This is a phrase that we use when someone has challenged us to do something and we want to accept their challenge. We want to tell them that we will do it. And usually it can be to prove somebody wrong, which means to show them that they were wrong. For example, you can't finish that whole pizza by yourself. That's impossible.
Challenge accepted!
And then you could say, okay, challenge accepted. So again, this phrase is mostly used by Barney. Barney just hears his friends talking about something and he considers it a challenge and says challenge accepted. But the funny thing is, usually no one has even asked him to do the challenge and no one even cares if he does it or not. But he still makes a really big effort to do the challenge and complete it, even though no one cares.
Barney, you are not 18 anymore. If you did everything on that list, you would die. That wasn't
Challenge accepted.
Now that you're done, I want you to comment below and tell me your favorite phrase and your favorite character from the show. My favorite character would have to be Ted, because I think he's such a nice guy and he's such a good friend and I really like him. I hope you found this video helpful and that you had some fun learning new vocabulary with me. If you did, press the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Bye!